Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy for this alternate card using the March 2022 Beyond the Horizon Paper Pumpkin Kit. So what I've got is an old olive card base, a 5 by 3 3/4 Misty Moonlight mat, and then I took a piece of the New Horizons Designer Series paper, and the first thing I did out of the 6 by 6 is I used my basic border die across the top, and then I flipped it around. I ran it like this, and then I flipped it around again so that I got the cloud shapes, and then I just trimmed them apart. And I also did the same along the bottom, just like this. And then I trimmed the edges so that they would be square and straight. I wanted to take and create kind of a foreground by stamping the vines in Evening Evergreen and Old Olive along the front. And then I put some of the vines also on the piece that I had cut off using the basic border die. And I wanted to line this up and kind of decide where I wanted it to go before I trimmed it all off. So that's one step I still need to do. And then I'm going to layer up some of the pieces here. And the one thing I haven't done yet is chosen a greeting for here. And I'm going to again stamp the greeting right on this piece. So I'm just going to see if the congratulations will fit on there. And I don't think it will. Oh, it will just. So I'm going to have to be super careful with how I stamp that so that it goes straight. Now, these smaller dies or stamps, it's really easy to twist them up when you put them on. So what I do is I lay it against the block and then I let it fall, and it will naturally fall straight. If you try and use your both hands to put it on, you could actually twist it so that it doesn't stamp straight. So that's just a little tip there. And I think I'm going to stamp that in the Evening Evergreen. I'm also going to use the bird stamp from the Mount and Air set to add some birds at the end. So let's go ahead and start building this. First thing I'm going to do is stamp the greeting. So I'm going to move this out of the way. And let's see how steady my hands are to stamp this on this piece here. Okay, and here goes nothing. There we go. So it's on there. The G got cut off a little bit, but I don't think that's a really big deal. So we've got that stamped on there now. So I'm going to move that off to the side. I'll leave this here because that's the size of the paper. That is the center, ends up being the center. So I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of this. Actually, you know what? That actually looks kind of cool just like that, doesn't it? So maybe I'll use the other side. So this is how things change in the middle of a plan. I had planned to use this side, but when I flipped it over, I really quite like this side. So I think I'm actually going to use this side as my good side. So things change in an instant when you're stamping, and yeah, you just go with it. So there, I totally changed what I was going to do with the card just by flipping the paper over. So I just need to kind of decide where I'm going to put this, and I think I'm going to put it right here. Just need to line it up with the bottom like that. And then I need to trim this off. So just like that, that's the one side, and that had adhesive on it, so it's gonna be a bit sticky. And then I'm going to trim this side off like that. So there we go. Ah, this is fantastic. Okay, so now I can mount this piece onto my background. Actually, I'm going to wait to do that. Sorry. I wanted to use the mountains, and I wanted to have the mountains, you know, kind of in here, but they kind of stand out like that. So I thought what I would do is I would add the banners across the bottom to make the greeting. like that. So let's get that all set up. So I'll put the adhesive on the back of the mountains like this. And I wanted them to be about here, I think. So I'll pop those down like that. And then I'm going to just use flat mount the greeting onto the background. And these, of course, are elements from the kit itself. I just want to make sure that I am getting this even here. So I'm just going to do it like this. So there we go. And then I need to decide if I'm going to flat mount that or dimensionalize it. And I think I've decided I'm going to dimensionalize it. So I need to find my small dimensionals. Again, with these, I'm building them on the fly with you during the video. So I apologize if sometimes it seems a little bit wonky or out of sequence. But I do like to show you where my ideas come from and how I put things together. And, you know, happy accidents like this. When I flip it over, you almost can't tell that it's a separate piece. It blends in, but it adds that little pop of color as well. So now I need to pop this down like that. I'm just going to lift it up to make sure I'm straight. There we go. So there, what we've done is now created mountains in the background without having that harsh line where the mountains are. And I'm just going to lift that. There we go. Okay. So now let's see where the clouds should go and which clouds we should use, because I've got 3 different sets here. I kind of like this one to put it in there. It almost looks like a sunburst coming out from underneath it. And I am going to dimensionalize this. So, and you can cut them out however you like using the dies. Just line it up wherever you'd like it to be. And you can play with different shapes and different designs. So I'm going to pop that up there like that. And we can put another one in. You know what? I don't think I'm going to actually add another one. I think I'm going to leave it like that. But now I am going to stamp some birds in the background. And these mountain air birds are the perfect size for kind of doing that perspective where this is all up close and then you're getting further off into the mountains. So I'm just going to add the little birds with the mountain air set. So there we go. That looks really pretty. I'm really pleased with how this one turned out. I don't often do a lot of the foreground, background stuff because honestly, as much as I love creating with color, I don't have a lot of artistic ability when it comes to doing really art type work. I do better with the pre-made shapes and designs, and then I can put things together. So I'm just going to line this up and drop it down to adhere it. And I love the way the Misty Moonlight picks up on all of that. My next decision is, do I flat mount this or do I dimensionalize it? And I think I'm actually going to dimensionalize it. So again, deciding on the fly with how I'm going to build the card and that, but it's all part of the creative process. So thank you for sticking with me so far in the video. This one's been a bit long and a bit, I don't know, a bit less organized than I usually do the videos, but it's all good. So now we just make sure we've got the card the right way up, and we do. And then I can drop this down. In one of the previous cards, I did the, I stamped this greeting in the old olive, but this one I did it in a slightly darker color because I wanted it to show up. This one's really busy and I wanted it to pop, and it does. So there we go. There is another alternate card using elements from the March 2022 Beyond the Horizon Paper Pumpkin Kit. Thank you so much for watching, and let's create together again soon.